Hey, it's Coach M here. Regardless of whether you're a teenager or an adult, if you struggle with accepting and loving yourself fully, then this video is for you. I've got the best 6 steps that you can take today to start loving and accepting who you really are coming up. If you could do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button for me, that would be wonderful. I'm on a mission to get these powerful tools and strategies on this channel into as many people's hands as possible. My goal is to help everyone live from their best self. And of course, as you know, every subscribe button push helps YouTube's algorithm get this content out in front of more people. Thank you. Okay. Today we're talking about self-love and self-acceptance. Are you hoping and wishing that you could just accept yourself and be who you really are? Are you wanting to live an amazing life, but your self-criticism, your self-doubt, and low self-confidence is holding you back? Wouldn't it be incredible to be able to stop caring about what others think about you and just be happy with yourself? Well, the first step that you have to take right here, right now, is to decide. You have to decide to believe something different about yourself. This is the truth. You've been roped into a lie about who you really are, about what you're capable of and what type of life you should have. But deep down inside, you know that you're meant for so much more. You know there's a reason for your existence, a purpose for your life. If you didn't believe this, I don't think you'd be watching this video right now. The problem is you've fallen into a negative thought loop about yourself, which is coming from that old part of your brain, the inner critic. It's just trying to keep you safe, but it's holding you back. We'll talk a little bit more later on about the inner critic and how to quiet it down instantly. But for now, you have to make the tough decision to challenge your stories and your negative beliefs. They're not serving you at all, and I think you know this. They're actually helping you hide from the world. Think about it. If you continue to tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you can't do things as well as others, that you're not as confident as you should be, then you don't ever have to try. You don't ever have to put yourself out there and risk getting hurt, feeling rejected, going through any amount of pain or discomfort. The story that you've been telling yourself is helping you to play small in the world. It's keeping you from expanding and growing yourself. And yes, it keeps you nice and safe and comfortable in this little bubble that's cut off from the rest of the world. But eventually the lack of real connection, the loneliness that you feel, the need to fulfill your purpose, along with any anxiety and even depression that you might feel, it compounds and it makes it almost unbearable to live this way anymore, right? Your true self is buried underneath all of these lies that you keep telling yourself. It's screaming at you to wake up, to see yourself for exactly who you are, the beautiful, incredible, amazing person that has been put on this earth at this time in history right now to gift the world with your presence, your personality, your strengths, gifts, talents, your unique spirit. You actually have a job to do and you're not doing it. Your purpose here on earth is to express the highest form of your true self. And when we keep hiding, we're doing the exact opposite of what we're supposed to do. That is why we feel such a struggle with our current life and what we know we're capable of. But we're going to change all of that today and get you back on track to loving and accepting yourself fully, to seeing exactly what you're capable of and sharing your true self with the world. So, step number 2 is to see yourself clearly. Identify your unique combination of strengths, talents, gifts, and values. I've got a great activity guide linked in the description down below to help walk you through this process. When we begin to see ourselves clearer, we can start accepting and loving ourselves much quicker. The unique combination of who you are helps you see just what you bring to all of your relationships, how you help others in ways that you may not even realize. You begin to see that your authenticity and vulnerability with others allows them permission to do the same. You'll see how when you're living from your true self, your inner strength and power will influence, motivate, and inspire those around you, and help others to live from their true self. Step number 3. Learn to access your intuition. Self-love comes when we have self-trust, when we believe that we are capable of handling tough, painful situations. For a lot of us, this is hard. We struggle with self-trust, with the deep knowing that everything will be okay, even if we have to suffer and go through something really hard, which we all do at some point in life. Your intuition is your inner wisdom. It's more than just a gut feeling or a fleeting thought. It gives you clues to the decisions that you should make in every moment. It warns you when something's wrong, and it gives you this gentle sign of reassurance when you're on the right path. The problem is our intuition is a very quiet inner voice. It's never forceful or aggressive. That's why we often ignore it or we don't even hear it to begin with. It's so subtle and faint that in order for us to hear it more clearly, we have to learn how to tap into it and access it. When we can do this, this inner guide will allow us to connect to the world on a much deeper level. opening up a whole new world of possibilities and creativity. Your intuition will help you develop more self-love and self-acceptance. And by accessing it, you learn to tap into a deeper part of who you are that can help you through anything. If you need help accessing your intuition, check out the link in the description down below. Step number 4, awareness. Full self-love only develops when we practice awareness of our thoughts. Remember that old part of your brain, the part that loves to keep you safe? It's also referred to as the inner critic. It's always trying to get you to move away from pain, even if the pain is there for your growth. In order for self-love to be possible, we have to first see that our thoughts are not us. Our inner critic is not us. It's just the very old part of your brain that hasn't evolved very much. It still sees everything as a potential threat, and it doesn't know the difference between a real threat that could kill you and a perceived threat that can't. When I think about my inner critic, we all have one, I think of this great-great-grandmother who doesn't understand the current modern world. She has no idea how to work a cell phone, turn on a computer, let alone how the internet works. She means well and wants me to be safe, but because she doesn't understand the world I'm living in, she lives in constant fear and tells me whatever she can to get me to move away from any form of pain or discomfort. She's well-intended, but a cranky, fearful little thing. What does your inner critic sound like? If you could give it a name, what would you call it? I call mine worried old Wilma, and this is what she looks like. Some people refer to theirs as Anxious Annie or Critic Karen or Fearful Fanny Sue. Decide on a name for your inner critic and give it an identity, like a judge and jury or a rambunctious toddler or a gremlin or a monster. The more that you can disassociate from this part of your brain and see it as separate from your true self, the more you'll be able to recognize it when it shows up and challenge it so it no longer has a grip on you. It can help to sketch it out on paper and write down its characteristics. I have a PDF linked below to help you do this. By putting it on paper, you're able to identify it visually when it starts feeding you those negative thoughts. Again, this allows you to see it and change the negative thoughts more quickly. You may be thinking, so how do I change the negative thoughts once I'm aware of them? You'll want to use the 5-finger tool. Each finger on one of your hands is a question you'll ask yourself to challenge your negative thoughts. When you do this exercise, you'll want to squeeze each finger as you ask the questions. This multi-sensory approach helps you focus more on the question and finding the answer. Sometimes if you don't get an answer right away, repeat the question again, or as many times as you need to in order to get a deeper, more self-reflective response. First question, is this a self-loving statement? Second question, is it in my control? Third question, what are some of the assumptions I might be making here? Fourth question, is this thought 100% true? Fifth question, what is a better, more neutral thought that I can replace it with? Step number 5, process your emotions the right way. The quickest way to self-love and self-acceptance is by processing your emotions. Your emotions hold the secret to moving you closer to your true self. Each emotion tells us something extremely important about ourselves. And it's only when we learn to honor, accept, and understand our emotions that we then see ourselves fully and begin to accept and love ourselves more. It's as if through the process of feeling your feelings in an open, curious way, you develop more strength to process through your emotions, especially the really hard emotions. And the more you process through them, the stronger and stronger you feel emotionally, which fosters more confidence, more self-trust, and leads to more self-love. It's a beautiful thing when you learn how to process your emotions the right way. If you need help in getting started, check out the video here and it's linked in the description below. And you can always send me an email. My email address is linked below as well. And I can send you some great tools to help you get started. Step number 6, flip the gratitude list. To foster more self-love and acceptance, instead of writing down 3 things that you're grateful for every night, even though I do recommend doing that too, you're going to write down at least 5 things that you did during the day that you're grateful for and proud of yourself for. It doesn't matter how small or big it is. If it is something that demonstrates your true self, write it down. It could be something as small and simple as smiling and talking to the cashier in the grocery store, or calling your parents just to see how they're doing. Obviously, if you can write down more than 5 things, definitely do it, but you'll want at least 5 things. And try to do this every night before you go to bed. If you start these 6 steps today, you'll begin to start loving and accepting yourself more and more. Your true self will be revealed, and you'll begin to love who you really are. Again, if you feel you'd like some extra help with any of these steps in the video, just send me an email and I'll send you some great activities and strategies to help you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like it, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and click on the bell icon to get notified when I upload a new video. and I upload videos every week. I hope your week is incredible. I'll see you in the next video.